Okay.
This is a Kansai Special 1012PS-MD3. Normally, it's usually used for sewing elastic thread. However, it is also used, it's a single chain stitch machine, usually with elastic thread through the needles. However, we are modifying this machine for coffin liners. This is the inside lining of a coffin. Okay, so this does not use elastic thread. It uses a very, very flimsy, light material. Okay, and it uses a polyester thread. This is not an elastic thread. It uses a polyester thread. Okay, so when we modify this machine, we have to remove the metering device and we have to add this take-up here. The needle thread take-up eyelet. For elastic thread, you don't use this eyelet at all. Okay, so we remove the metering device that is used for the tension on the elastic thread. Okay, and we have to add the take-up. Also, the thread has to pull through these eyelets very, very smoothly. If there's any tug or any pull or any catch, if there's any catch on it at all, it can cause a skip stitch. So you might have to polish all of these eyelets on your tension. Your tensions right here when they come in, it's possible that your tensions and your eyelets are not very smooth. And that might work for most threads and for most operations. But because this machine has a blind looper and it's really made for elastic thread, you have to make sure that this cotton thread is pulling, that this polyester thread, regular thread, you have to make sure that there's no catch on it at all as it comes through the tension and as it comes through all of the eyelets. Okay. Also, this machine will not sew on any regular thread. Like we said, it's designed for sewing elastic thread for ladies' dresses and blouses, two-top style dresses and blouses. Okay? A very weak thread like this T24, Tex 24 thread, very difficult to sew on this single chain stitch machine with the blind looper. You get a sporadic skip stitch every once in a while. Very difficult to sew on the T24. Okay, when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, also these eyelets here. Okay, the thread eyelets here. As I said, when you sew the cotton thread, you have to add your needle thread take-up eyelet. But also, you need a lot more pull-off. You need a lot of thread pull-off. So these eyelets here, okay, we have a special bracket that these eyelets are on to allow you to get a lot more needle pull-off than usual. So what I mean by needle pull-off is if I lower this eyelet, we're going to get less. If I lower these two eyelets, you will get less needle thread in your stitch. Less needle thread in the stitch. Okay, and again, this machine was made for elastic thread. So when we use regular thread, you need a lot more thread in the stitch. So we need to raise these up a little higher. Okay. So this bracket here that these eyelets are screwed into, we've made this bracket to allow for a lot more needle thread pull off in order to sew your regular thread on this 1012 single chain stitch machine. And this eyelet also, we add this eyelet also. This eyelet is not here when you sew cotton thread. So, when you sew elastic thread.
Yes.
When you sew elastic thread, this eyelet isn't here either. It has a metering device for tension on your elastic thread. So when we sew regular thread, we have to add this eyelet here, your needle thread take-up eyelet, and we have to add this eyelet right here to the casting. That's the first eyelet your thread will go through. Okay, so when we make this modification from the elastic thread machine, the 1012PS-MD3, the timing remains the same actually. So the timing is the same, your needle bar height, your looper distance, everything is exactly the same. Of course, you're going to use a smaller needle. The machine comes in with the elastic thread. It has a size 21 needle. And in this case, we have to go all the way down to a 14 needle so it doesn't put holes in the fabric. Needle holes in the fabric. Right now I have a 16 needle in it, and you can see a couple of the needle holes. So we will go down to a 14 needle so we don't have the needle holes in the fabric. Also, the only adjustment you would have to make, the timing stays the same, but when you go down to the smaller needle, you will probably have to just move your looper maybe a little closer to the scarf of the needle. Okay, so you might have to move your looper a little right here, this screw right here. You might have to move your looper a little bit in, a little left or right. When you go down from a 21 needle all the way to a 14, you'll have to, but the rest of the timing stays the same. Needle bar height, looper distance, and synchronization all remains the same. With all of this, how they're going to make passes, you know? I don't. And then I need 3 passes. They have to be even closer. I guess it could be done.